I apologize. I mean, I don't have to apologize, but I apologize for not coming back in, pause, and checking with y'all on a more consistent basis. But things are happening. I've been swamped in preparations for the show. We Helter Skelter OGC. We have a big show taking place in Brooklyn on July 9th. If you in the area, come run down on us and watch us rock out with us. So there's been that. There's the new Helter Skelter album I'm still working on. You know, whole bunch of stuff, whole bunch of stuff. So yeah. So it's been kind of difficult to find something that I care enough about to break that focus or all of that focus to talk to y'all about. Like, y'all seen this hat the other? I don't know if y'all seen this hat the other day when I had it on. I don't know if y'all, how many of y'all follow me on IG and all of that, but yeah, a lot of this stuff I don't care about. You know what I'm saying? This is why, I'm not saying it's nothing I care about. Of course, that's not true, but but I somehow I found it. Not somehow. This is actually a very valid conversation right here. I stumbled across it because I heard Trick Daddy was talking wild crazy to India Arie. I mean, well, he didn't say her name, but judging from all of the, from the backstory and what's going on right now, and all of the things that he said, like that's who he was talking to, and it was, and he was out of pocket. He was out of pocket, son. Trick Daddy was out of pocket the way he was talking about the situation. Now I understand. It's like if you read the title, it says it's complicated, and I do believe it's complicated because as a rapper, as a hardcore rapper, I have I've spit a whole bunch of negative bars. I mean, I've spit some positivity too, but if I had to, if I'm being honest, if I had to weigh, you know what I'm saying, if we was keeping score, I would say, you know what I'm saying, I would say I probably have more negative. I probably put out more negative bars than positive bars. And I've always fought for the right, or not fought, but I've always stood up for the right to, to do what you want, because ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying, ain't nobody jumping down the backs of no movie studios, nobody who makes movies that involve a whole bunch of, who made The Godfather. Like, who's the writer of The Godfather? Ain't nobody jumping. I mean, I can see you saying the actors are just acting. Who wrote that movie? Godfather 1, 2, and 3. Ain't nobody trying to get at him. Now I understand it's not. I'm not deflecting. I'm just saying that if they got freedom of creation and expression, then why don't we? You know what I mean? Have you ever asked yourself how many of these negative rappers, or just let's say the ones from my era, because I can't really speak for the ones from this era because I don't know them that well. How many rappers from my era were influenced by the movies, The Godfather, and the Scarface, and you got a rapper named Scarface. Mobb Deep used so many Scarface samples throughout their albums. Like we have all been influenced by some level of the movies. How many dudes in the hood named Rambo? No, but I never came across somebody named Rambo in real life. First time I ever heard that name was in a movie, and then therefore from that point on, only people I ever met with the name Rambo were people who wanted you to know that they was crazy. But anyway, where are my manners? Welcome to the nation, Monster Nation. That is. I'm your host, your tour guide, your landlord, and the president. I'm the king around here. The landlord, owner, tenant, janitor, I'm off the damn floor with you. If you don't follow the rules, rules are you gotta like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. If you're trying to be a taxpaying citizen of the nation, leave us a super thanks or a cash app or a super chat, depending on when you're watching this. Um, Cash App description will be in, or the Cash App title will be in the description, along with the Bandcamp link, which is there for those of you who would rather hear me rapping than to hear me yapping. You know, I got all of the mixtapes on that, well, almost all of the mixtapes on the Bandcamp link. You know what I mean? All the way from Shell Shock all the way up to Nonviolent Rocco. So that's about 10, that's like 10 jump offs. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Um Also, the merch link is in there. It's itsmonstanation.com. You can hit that and get some shirts, hats, and all of that. When you're writing on the walls here in the nation, doing graffiti, aka leaving comments, spelling names of our dignitaries correctly. You can spell everything else phonetically and however you want. But all of it's monster, not monster. It's an A, no ER. It's helter skelter, not helter skelter. A's and H's, no E's and R's. It's ROCK, unless you're a Crip. We give Crips a little pass, whatever. 'Cause I know we understand they got a little some politics and all that. But throw a little cuz something in the comments so we know. And if you don't want to put yourself on Front Street like that, then just put the K, just ROCK. And it's BCC, not BBC. Pause. That's what your girl said. So anyway, as I was saying, a lot of stuff going on. I don't really care too much about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I'm maturing some. A lot of this stuff is too silly for me to be, you know what I'm saying, for me to put too much of my attention on it while I'm doing all of this other work. I mean, I've been paying attention to what's been going on in the NBA, but we ain't gonna get into that. Trick Daddy is out of pocket. I feel like he's out of pocket for talking to India Arie like that. I ain't like the way he was. I ain't like that. That wasn't cool. I ain't think it was cool. But as far as what India Arie is saying, like yes, like I've always been an advocate for rapping the way you want to rap. Like you understand what I'm saying? Like I'm writing the movie just my raps is movies just like Steven Scorsese or whoever. You understand what I'm saying? George Lucas or whoever the writers are. You know what I'm saying? I don't know like that. But yeah, what's it like? And on top of that, these same movies have influenced us rappers. So why do we get all of the blame and they get none of it? And like I said, not to deflect, because at the same time, on the other side of that coin, I understand how powerful music is. I understand. I do get it. I understand its power to change your mood. Music can depress you. It can cheer you up. You know, it can amp you up. And, you know, by that standard, it might be able to, you know, contribute to the enragement of a person or a group of people, you know, when added into you know what I mean? When added into the mix of other heavy emotions. You know what I mean? I understand. Like have any of y'all ever seen like the rice experiment? I think I seen them do the same experiment with apples, where you isolate three apples or three jars of rice. You cook a pot of rice, you separate it into three jars. You label one love, you label one hate, and you label the other one nothing. You speak nothing but love into the love jar. Speak nothing but hate, the vilest things you could think into the hate jar. And the nothing one, you leave nothing. And then over a period of time, you do this for like 30 days or whatever. And the results show what. You understand what I'm saying? The love rice, you could almost still eat. The neutral rice and the hate rice, terrible. Make you gag, pause. You understand what I'm saying? It's the power of words, because words have energy. But that's a conversation most niggas don't want to get into. So for myself, that's an ongoing battle I have within my own self, pause, as a creator. And you know, my go-to my go-to content source is my aggression. You know what I'm saying? Now, my thoughts of aggression have fueled my raps for so long. You know what I mean? Yes, I know how to rap about other things, i.e., Winter Circle. You know, I got songs about, like about being, like off on Rockness AP, mournful songs, and so on and so forth. But I don't like those songs that much. I mean, I like mine. I like them sometimes but like sometimes like y'all don't hear everything I record. Sometimes I might try something out different. I might not like it, B. I'm supposed to, you know what I'm saying? So we out here. None of us out here. It's like a catch-22. None of us are out here. Very few of us are out here just rapping for our health. So if you in the game and you rapping to get paid, then it pays to know your audience, right? And you kind of gotta do, you kind of gotta cater. I say you kind of have to cater to your audience. There's another belief that feels like the audience don't know what they want until we give it to them. You understand what I'm saying? But that's sometimes. It's not always true. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean when I say it's complicated. It's like, because I understand, by no sense of the word, by no, under no circumstances am I trying to say that India Arie is out of pocket for anything she said. Everything, I mean, she cleared up the fact that she wasn't saying to boycott the record. People said it said that she was calling for a boycott. She said she didn't say that. I'm going to take her word for that. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna take her word for it before I take a bunch of angry interneters. Cause y'all enjoy anger. You understand what I'm saying? So she said she ain't say all that. All she said was, from what she see we at a place where people don't want to be free. Like people want to be, you understand what I'm saying? People want to stay stuck where they at or whatever. I'm paraphrasing. I don't want to misinterpret nothing she say, but she did say something along the lines that she's having a real realization of people don't really want to be free. Now I'm not sure how. In complete honesty, I'm not sure how that relates to people liking a song that is negative, because the song is a negative song. Like, where my scamming ass niggas at? You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas breaking the law. Who are they scamming? Are they scamming? I mean, you know what? Yeah. Who are they scamming? Are they scamming the corrupt government? You understand what I'm saying? Because if that's the case, then are they really? Anyway, so but generally speaking, she's speaking to people, creating, you know, not creating, but breaking laws, getting and being handsomely paid for it. Where are those individuals? Because she wants to get with you. I'm paraphrasing. I don't really listen to the song, but I kind of know the content of it. I've heard it, not in detail, but it's like, she wants to rock with you. She wants to rock. Come spend some of that scam money on her, is what she's saying. And it sounds like she's encouraging all of the women like her, or she's speaking for a group of women. You know what I'm saying? And as I said earlier, I do understand how influential music is. I didn't even get into how influential hip hop is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get off of the fact that, like, yo, movies deserve some. Let me ask y'all this: how many people watching this video, male or female, are familiar with the Bronx Tale scene where Sonny, I believe, tells Cologino the game about, like, how you know if a woman is a good woman, or if she's the one for you or not. You know what I mean? If you open the door for the woman, if you open her door, by the time you walk around to that other side of the door, if she ain't open the door for you, she's not a good woman, right? Nobody. Now correct me if I'm wrong, right? But You know, because I didn't grow up with a car in my family. I didn't grow up with a father in my house, right? So I don't know, but correct me if I'm wrong. But I ain't heard nobody say that until I heard it in that movie. And then I mean, everybody seen that movie in our culture, so it's like that. I feel like that shit became a rule from the movie. Now it may have been a real thing in Italian culture, which I'm not familiar with. You understand what I'm saying? It may have been, but I didn't learn that in my culture. I learned that from a movie, and all day and I see women and men adhering to that, like just that psychological injection of what's good and what's of right and wrong. For whatever reason, you understand what I'm saying? Sonny said the working man's a sucker. Dame Dash. You know Dame Dash seen Bronx Tale. You know he did. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm like, yo, I made this observation so long ago. When I met my daughter's mother, I told her, I'm like, fuck that shit. Excuse me, YouTube. I told her ruck that. Like I don't even know if that's real. That might have just came from niggas been living by that, man. You might have a baby. You understand what I'm saying? Your hands could be don't trick. But it got me so twisted. Sometimes I still be looking for it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm just saying, like we as our art, let's not act like artists aren't impressionable as well. We have all been programmed by this country. We living in this matrix we live in, been programming all of us from day one. From day one. And that's a whole nother conversation. Like from your school. I mean, it's crazy. From your school, everything you see on TV, the laws, the church, all it's all it's all the whole framework full of ruckery with an F with a R with an F replacing the R, the first one. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all know what I'm trying to say. It is. You know, dudes grow up like when NWA first came out with their, with, you know, with Ruck the Police and all of that. Like they didn't call that gangster rap. The media named gangster rap. You think the mumble rappers named mumble rap? They didn't. People who didn't like that named it that, and everybody just followed. You know what I mean? But when people follow it, like when they follow NWA, they they did it wrong. You understand what I'm saying? It's like NWA wasn't trying to be gangster. They what they what they identified their style as reality rap. The people called it gangster rap, and those who followed wanted to be now gangster. They didn't care about reality because they gangster stories was the biggest lies in the world. Some of the people who followed in the who so quote unquote tried to follow in the foots of gangster rap in NWA. There wasn't no reality at there wasn't a reality wasn't nowhere in sight in they raps, but the gangster was. Yeah, MC Ren was the truth. He was. MC Ren was how I started liking NWA. When I first heard them, Easy E, I didn't think Easy E was a dope rapper. You know what I'm saying? But you know, he had a very interesting voice, right? And Ice Cube, as dope as he was, I didn't get it at first. Ren rapped the way he flowed. He sounded more like an East Coast dude, so that kind of reeled me in. Pause. You know what I mean? And once I heard, I'm like, okay, Shankar, and then I started to appreciate Q and E and Dre. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm way off topic. But whatever. I ain't in no rush. Um, Indiari has a point when she does have a point when speaking about, like if like from what I heard her say in the statement when she was clearing up the fact that she didn't call for a boy count. She was like, yo, for a boycott. She was like, listen, man, like she's traveled the world twice and she sees the effects that our creations, our American export of creativity, is probably one of our most potent exports in America, creativity. She sees the effect that it has around the world, and it's not always nice. It's not always nice. You know what I mean? So I get that. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, so yeah, I mean, while I do listen to aggressive music, I prefer aggressive music. I make aggressive music. I do struggle with making, with how do I keep my music with that hardcore feel, with being more, while being more honest, and true to myself. Like I'm Zenny. You understand? I'm Zen Lord. You know what I'm saying? So, I live a very, I'm really a very mellow dude in most situations and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, positive thinking, peaceful and all of that. How do I balance? How do I still keep my raps hard when all of those things are true about myself? Pause. So it's something I struggle because I understand my fan base. They want to hear me gritty. You understand what I'm saying? But I do the work. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that gives me a license to sit here and say what I'm saying, or some of what I'm saying. Like, but I understand young Miami ain't my age. She's a young lady. You know what I'm saying? She's making party girl music. She's at the party girl age or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that Auntie Indy can't say what she say. That don't mean young people are going to be young people. They're going to have fun. That don't mean that Auntie can't come and say what she say, because what she say need to be said, because ain't nobody saying it. Well, clearly not enough people are saying it. If you react to it like that, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, to me, like I said, it's complicated. I get what she's saying, but I also understand the artist's point of view and the place in the a place like where a person is in their life and career and all of that. They might not be ready to grow up yet, and that just is what it is. But what I am sure about is Trick Daddy, that was out of pocket, bro. He's out of pocket. Somebody said he was, who was it? My man, Big Ant, the spokesman, said he was basically just pandering to young girls because he like young girls. Maybe that's true, but don't diss Auntie like that, son. Come on, son. I'm sure NDRE probably got love for Trick Daddy or had love for him before today. You know what I'm saying? Because we all grew up we all grew up together. Not together, but together. You know what I'm saying? And please believe Common Sense did not hate NWA. You understand what I'm saying? He didn't. But a misunderstanding led him and the Ice Cube into a heated exchange. So you already. I'm gonna get out of here. This type of I think this is an important topic. That's why I talked about it. I know it might be kind of left field for me. You ain't used to looking at a thumbnail seeing two women. You know, maybe I need to stay out of women business, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If that is true, then Trick Daddy, so do you. You understand what I'm saying? And just direct my message to him, and that's it. Me and him could speak in man to man terms, and I rock with Trick Daddy all day. But Come on, son. You ain't have to go hard on. You ain't have to go hard on sis like that. Anyway, made it to the end of this video. Let me get 4 music notes. Rock on, rock on.